Hey, true believers, Englentine here with another Independence Day. And this is basically where I just review a whole bunch of independent comic books, give you an idea of what they're like, and maybe use something for you to pick up instead of those really bad Marvel comics that you've been hate reading. So anyway, I'm very happy to say, yes, I'm doing the usual 22, but most of them are good. And most of them are actually good that I can say, hey, yeah, you should check this out. With only a couple of them that are, you know, not so good. That being said, as you see these covers go by, these will be the ones that you're going to get a little review of. Generally, 40 seconds to a minute. Sometimes I go a little bit above that, but I like to keep it around there. It's just a little taste, and that allows me to do more than just one or two of them. And just for fun, I also line them up from the one I like the worst to the one I like the best. So if you see the 3 stars, the way they're ordered, that's how I like it, you know, from worst to best. So, and that's just a little thing for me, but maybe it's fun for you too. I don't know. Maybe not. Also, the ratings. Let's see. 1 star is horrible. 2 stars bad. 3 stars average. But I couldn't like an average book. It might just be something where, I'm not confident in recommending it, so I put it in the 3 star. It might just be for this week. It might be a book that I usually say, hey, this is great, you should get it. But this week, you know how it is. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad. Anyway, 4 stars solid good, and 5 stars excellent. Doesn't mean it's Watchmen quality, but it means for what it is, it really, really works. Anyway, what else do I need to tell you? Definitely check these out. If your comic shop doesn't carry them, ask them to order it. These are cool. I hope you find something you like, and here we go. Thankfully, we don't have any 1 stars this week. These are the horrible... Oh, wait. Yes, we do. Thank you, Eric Larson. Savage Dragon 230. Gosh darn it, Eric Larson. You can't even make a bad comic bad. I mean, okay, yeah, there is some stuff to point out. I agree. In past issues, this one here, you make a cover like this. Now, okay, maybe I'm getting mad at the fact that this is basically a clickbait cover, and I've done clickbait titles. Everybody does. That's what they're there for. We want people to click on it, but this is ultimate clickbait right here. Oh, my goodness. We all know that Eric Larson has turned this into porn. This isn't what this book is. This one is just dull and boring. It's really, the whole thing about the Bald and Beautiful is a commercial that they missed because Eric Larson draws the little girl, the little Asian girl that's supposed to be his underage wife, and she's acting like a heroin addict passing out, and they miss a commercial or something. It's really boring. The 2-star books are just bad. Maybe they're not horrible. There might be a saving grace, but I still can't recommend them. This is really well written, so why don't I like it? Crude number 1 by Steve Orlando is well written. It's not badly drawn. It's just not very exciting. It talks about a guy's past and sets up what's going to happen in the future, but there doesn't seem to be any now for us to grab onto, because the main character here, he's just a mopey guy. Just, oh my goodness gracious. Like I said, this is a case where everything is put together well. It's just what the puzzle isn't all that exciting. Goosebumps, download and die number 1. Now, they want you to believe that this is a book about a haunted phone, a possessed phone that grants wishes, I guess. Can't really tell, because this is a book about 3 tweens. One of them's new, and one friend likes her more than the other, and the other friend is jealous of the new friend's friendship with a new person. That's what the book's really about. Not to say it's bad, but holy crap, is it boring. It's bad. I'm sorry, it is. I wanted to like this because I like the previous Goosebumps, but this one just does not live up. Bruce Lee, The Walk of the Dragon. So Bruce Lee is somehow transported to modern day, but he's young and doesn't remember his past. And for some reason, every time he steps out of his house, he has far, far too many karate fights. I don't understand what they're going for here, but it's supposed to be grounded, but it reaches points of ridiculousness not known to man in this day and age. I cannot recommend this. The 3-star books are average. Maybe it didn't resonate with me, or maybe I liked it, but just not enough to recommend it. Infidel number 2. I had not planned on doing a full-length review of this, but I ended up doing one. I mean, go watch it. It is absolutely a natural review because I just couldn't stop talking about it. The first issue I thought was kind of even-handed. This one goes weird because the hauntings are so on the nose, it's just unbelievable. And this comes from a book that throughout the entire thing, it was working. It was a really good horror story, and then it just went off the deep end and turned weird. Black Hammer Age of Doom number 1. So if you are a fan of Black Hammer, you're going to love this because it continues the story. It basically continues the characters, and you will know where you are. If you're just jumping in, this is not good. This is not good for new readers. It really does expect you to know what has come before and understand who all of these people are. Now, someone who enjoys Black Hammer, I like the comic. That being said, because of the nature of the comic, I have to reluctantly give this a 3-star rating. It's good, just not safe for new readers. Brothers Dracul, number 1. This, well, you know, Vlad the Impaler, so forth and so on. This tells about him and his brother and how they come to power. It starts off where we see basically a bloody battleground, and one brother's going to Vlad wondering what happened. It flashes back to their childhood when we see that they are taken from his father and trained by the new ruler who overthrew him. Anyway, it's a very interesting book. It's not a particularly exciting one, though, I have to say. It's good if you're like a reader of novels and have just like accidentally stumbled into the comic book world. Aliens Dust to Dust number 1 is an action book. It doesn't take a lot of time to really give us any character. It gives us the story. It's another Wayland outpost that gets stuck by, or attacked, I should say, by aliens. And it's completely destroyed. It really much does pay off like an Aliens Come to Earth story, and it's intense. And if you could get into the characters enough, you will be scared for them. Unfortunately, while I enjoy it for the action, it didn't do much for the character, and in the end it was sound and fury, signifying nothing. Kiss, Army of Darkness, number 3 is okie dokie. It's as cheesy as you would think a Kiss Army of Darkness book would be. It's the 3rd chapter in. It's fun. It's entertaining. It's, well, for lack of a better word, kind of stupid. Not in a bad way. But if you ever watch the Ash movies, well, okay, Army of Darkness, it's kind of silly. Or Ash versus the Army of Darkness. That's what you get here, but occasionally you get a panel of Kiss trying to sing. You know, in comic book form. So, you know, silly, but fun. John Wick number 2. Now, I did not think this of the first issue, but this issue builds the world that we know John Wick comes from. That's what I get from it. It is the John Wick movies put to paper. A lot of talking, a lot of world building, highlighted by a whole bunch of gun violence. And this is what we get here, and that's all you should expect. It's entertaining. The art it's okay. But what really carries this is the story and just the interest you might have in this whole assassin underworld thing. Shadow Man 2. Now, okay, here's something. Shadow Man is an enjoyable series. It is. It does lack a certain atmosphere. And if you want to know what that atmosphere it's lacking, look at the covers. The covers tell you there's going to be something dark on the inside. Almost like Alan Moore's Swamp Thing dark. But instead, it's a typical superhero story just with voodoo dressing poured over it. And it's not... there. Like I said, there's no atmosphere to it. It's still entertaining. It's just not what it is promised from the covers every month. The 4-star books are legitimately good, and I am damn proud enough to recommend them to you. Usagi Yojimbo #2, or The Hidden #2 is the full title. And this is possibly one of the best series that just does not get enough love. Seriously, it is just fun. It's funny and dramatic at the same time. Sometimes within the same issue, it balances that very well. In this one, you have them searching for an assassin, and there's a scene where they just randomly kill a guy. He's of course a criminal, but it's still kind of jarring. Like I said, just one of the best books out there right now. Grim Tales of Terror, Volume 4, #1. So this is your typical, we're going to take these guys out and they're not going to believe the ghost stories, but it's going to be real kind of thing. I'm a little disappointed that they gave something to hate the guys for. This girl comes out and says, hey, I know where we could find some ghosts, and takes them out there. And I would have loved it if it was evil for evil's sake, but it turns out this is a vengeance tale, and the guys who die end up having it coming. Spoiler alert. It's a good book. Don't get me wrong. I just think it would have been more impactful had we not had the evil backstory for the victims. G.I. Joe versus the $6 Million Man. This book is just continuously fun, and it is nostalgia for both 70s kids and 80s kids. Here we have a big-ass battle between the Atomic Man and $6 Million Man, plus the presence of G.I. Joe. It's basically picks up right where the last one ends off, with a standoff. It's got a little bit of story to it and a little bit of character, but mostly this is a beat-em-up, shoot-em-up kind of a book. And I like it a lot. In all honesty, I really can recommend this series here. It's just tons of fun. Jeepers Creepers #1 is an anomaly. I mean, it's good. It's not great, but it's the perfect structure. Does that make any sense? Okay, so we meet Jeeper. We're shown what he can do and what he's all about. But then we meet the protagonist, who is going on a trip to Mexico because he's studying dragons, and he comes across the mythology of the Creeper. And through his search, we find out about him and the Creeper. So this tells the whole story, and you get it in 22 very simple pages to read. It's fun. It's entertaining. It's not the perfect book, because it doesn't really give you the feels or anything like that, but it definitely is strong, and it's good in its format. After the events of 25, I definitely had to check out Mighty Morphin Power Rangers #26. I'm not a huge Power Rangers fan. The story was good, and I have to admit, I like it. I'm liking this storyline so far. In this one, we're finding out that Lord Tommy, yeah, he's got another name, but I figured, yeah, why don't we call him Lord Tommy, is going from one alternate universe to another and killing all the Morphin Power Rangers. I like the fact that in different dimensions, you have a different art style. It just makes it all that much more better. And I can't imagine, if you are a Power Rangers fan, that the opening pages of this book will not leave you teary-eyed. The Further Adventures of Nick Wilson #4. The thing about this book is that it's heartfelt. Really, it's kind of comedic. You know, it's about a superhero, but it's about a washed up superhero who lost his powers. In this one, you even find out that one of the people who worked for him trademarked and licensed his costume, so he could put anybody in the costume and have them at trade shows and such. It's a lot of fun, and it's just a good story about a guy who used to be on top and is now down on his luck. Sheena, Queen of the Jungle #8. God, I keep telling you, this is such a fun series. Marguerite Bennett knows what she's doing with this character. She's strong. I'm actually surprised they have her in the outfit they do, considering what we've seen from Bennett before and how she talks. But damn it, Sheena works. In this one, she's captured. The bad guys got her, and they want to get into a temple, and they decide to send her best friend if Sheena doesn't talk or help, and they're going to watch her die. And it's fun, like I said. not a lot of tension, and you kind of get what you expect, but still definitely one to pick up. Kill or Be Killed is a book that everybody should be reading, and this one just proves it. They catch the killer, or they basically shot up, and, well, you know, it's the same situation. All the cops, everybody, the higher-ups saying, hey, we've got him, close the case, and the main detective, she's like, no, this isn't it, this is too easy, it's too easy, it can't be him. So it's all about how she's trying to find out whether she's right or not, as to whether they have the right killer. This is written so well. This is a writer's story, and if you like detective stories, man, you're going to love this comic book. The comic book history of comics has been entertaining. This is volume 2, and it was dealing with trade paperbacks and such. This 4th issue, however, is kind of linking the history of piracy. Basically, how it could have come about, you know, what led to it. It's a very interesting story. If you are into comics, as in comic books, the medium, and not just the stories themselves, this book is a must. It is one of my favorite books. It's kind of, I mean, you know, it's a classic illustrated of the comic industry. Tons of fun if you're into this kind of thing. X-O Man of War number 14. In this issue, X-Man Onomore goes home. That's it. That's the story. And it's cool. It really has some great art in this book. It's really easy to read. A lot of it is just him flying. It tells the story in the art itself, and it's done very well. Yeah, the dialogue and story, the written story is very sparse, but it still hits, and it is a prelude to the Harbinger Wars number 2, so it is kind of a calm before the storm. Here's one thing, though. Valiant is possibly the most consistent company out there for producing good books. X-O Man of War and Bloodshot are 2 of the best. Check those out. Cyber Force number 2. So if you did see the review, it was a very positive review of number 1. Happy to say this continues. We do get a little bit more about the father-daughter team, and here we get the origins of the villain, and I wish I could remember what the name was. Sorry, I'm doing this a little bit after. I just do remember the feeling I had. Very entertaining. Like Cyber Force, which is such a surprise to me because I remember how mundane I thought the original series was. Thankfully, issue number 2 was as good as number 1, and we'll see how number 3 does. And the 5-star books are excellent. Maybe not Watchmen quality, but they do what they set out to do. But unfortunately, we don't have any this week. But I can't leave the tag off because inevitably I'll get the comment saying, hey, where's the 5 stars? You know, because I guess can't make the connection if the 5 stars not there, didn't have any 5-star books. But if I add the 5-star like I'm doing now, even though I don't have 5-star books, inevitably I get comments that say, well, you shouldn't have added it then. So win, lose, just play the game. But that's just my opinion. What is yours? What did you think about this batch of independent comic book reviews? Did I like something that you didn't? Or did you like something that I didn't? What did I get wrong? What did I get right? Don't just put down you suck, because that's how you sound to me if you just say that. But if you, you know, give me some constructive criticism or tell me why you disagree. I love to hear that kind of stuff. That's why I do these things. It's a lot of fun to hear everybody's comments and such, or read them as I do. You don't hear them, but you read them anyway. Also, if you like this video, you want to see more, you know the drill. Click like. Sharing gets word out about the channel, and don't forget, if you haven't already done it, hit subscribe and the notification bell. Cool things happen around these parts, and don't want you to miss anything. Especially every Saturday night, we have Comic Book Thunderdome at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, where we put 2 geeks against each other to debate the debates and fight the fights, argue the arguments that we might hear in any comic book shop or comic book forum. It's tons of fun. Also, this is a way to make a living, so if you don't mind heading on over to Patreon to drop $1 in the till, helps keep making videos for you and to help us keep getting better equipment to make better videos for you. Like, thank everybody who's already done that, and to everyone, all of the true believers, thank you very, very much for watching.